Hi everyone, my name is Shar Jossel and thanks for joining us Glad today for another Glad Hangout. Today I'm going to be in conversation with a phenomenal artist, singer, one of my friends. Her name is Neverending Nina. She is alumna of Glad's Emmy cohort and she's already here. We're going to be talking excited about that. I mean, this is really, Nina is so talented. And if you've ever heard any of her other work, well, if you haven't, rather, you need to go check that out. She is available on all streaming services. Hey,
Hey, sister, Madam President.
sis. Hello. How are you, my sweet sister?
I am good. How are you?
You
Hey,
know,
everyone.
all things considered, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. Um, Full disclosure, Nina and I were chatting on the phone earlier, so this is my second dose of being in conversation with you today.
Get it while it's hot, baby.
Get it while it's hot. Oh, it brings me so much joy to see your face, Nina.
Like,
So while we're waiting on your co-collaborator, B. Slade, to come
yeah.
into the chat. Oh, wait, is this? Oh, no requests yet. While we're waiting, I want to I want to start talking about vision, right? It's your EP. You were very intentional about, well, your latest EP, rather, that's coming out on October 24th, which is Friday.
Friday.
Friday. And you were very intentional about taking this back to like a vintage format. Talk to me about that.
So what came to my mind with Vision EP is that I wanted something short and sweet. And I remember back in the day when when new artists would come out, they would be like three to five tracks. And they were almost like snippets. It
Yeah.
wasn't even like so I was like, you know what, Nina, let's do that. Let's get them in. All right, let's get them
All
in.
right.
Welcome, young man.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, B Slade.
How are you?
We're doing pretty well. Nina was actually just in the middle of wrapping up the answer to my first question about some of the backstory behind why she chose this specific format for the EP. So
Okay.
she's going to finish that up, and then we're going to loop you in. We're going to
Okay.
all talk together.
Okay.
So literally, it was an idea of like, oh, short and sweet and precise. At least 3 to 5 tracks.
Hmm.
Just saying, what if you don't know who Neverending Nina is? This will be the introduction, and it's just straight fire. And so,
Yeah.
literally, that's what the concept was of why it's so short. Because then I found out actually the masses did not with uploading and all that kind of stuff, which is something that I found out for myself is that in order for it to be registered as an EP or a body of work, one song has to be 10 minutes and then also it has to be more than 30 minutes. So I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I uploaded for my process. And so I was like, well, no matter what, it's still my EP. It's still my second coming. So whatever they say, that's fine. But this is how I'm rolling with it. So mixing the nostalgia, but bringing it to the present and to the future. And yeah, that's what Vision is and why it's just 3 tracks.
Okay, Vision, which we're going to get into the title a little bit later, but I want to bring B Slade in. B, can I call you B, or do you
Yeah,
want the
B.
full?
B is
Okay,
fine.
B.
Yeah,
B.
that's what folks call me.
All right, B. So B, talk to me about you and Nina's friendship. How far do you all go back? And also talk to me about how this project came to be. It's kind of a co-collaboration, kind of like a Timbaland Missy type situation. Nina and I were talking earlier, kind of like Brandy and Dark Child, Rodney Jerkins. So talk to me about your friendship and how this came to be.
Man, Nina, it's been over a decade now. I think she knew me before I knew her, just because we probably just like a lot of the same artists. I think
Yeah.
that's where it all kind of starts from, is that she's the type of artist that loves the kind of artists I love. So I didn't have to do a bunch of guessing and things. And we just hung around in Hollywood. Like, we met in Hollywood. Like, we're Zen Lounge babies. We
I'm a Zen
are,
Lounge baby too.
yeah, yeah.
You have to
I
wait
still to
forever to
this
get your
day.
food, but
I know.
I miss that atmosphere.
Yeah, but that food was so good, man. Them wings was all
Shout out
right,
to
and that mac
Keisha.
and cheese was good, okay?
Shout out to Tisha Fridays. If you're in LA and you know, then you know. But go ahead.
Yeah, and back then, you know, a lot of us were imports from other states.
Yeah.
So that was like our church and sanctuary and stomping grounds for how we would develop our gifts and how we would navigate the mainstream audiences in Los Angeles. So a lot of us cut our teeth there. And, you know, with Tisha and Dwayne, the time, you know, they just took us in like we were all their kids. You know, it was just an amazing time. You know, I think about that time and I'm just blessed that I was around to be around that much amazing Blackness and just the talent and how everybody was so cool and so down to earth and nobody was tripping. So that's how Nina and I fell in love with her from the beginning. Like it was just, she just has such a wonderful spirit. She's a wonderful human being. It starts there. She's so funny and shit. So that made me so happy. I was like, okay, here's somebody who, if you bring her, like the party ain't the party unless Nina's there. Anybody who is like, you know what I'm saying? She breaks up cliques. She doesn't let people get cliquey. She visits everywhere. And I like that about her. So that's where how we were friends long before we ever spoke of anything creatively or business wise. You know, it was never like that with us. We just liked each other's company.
You know, I'm so glad that you shed light on Nina's personality, because a lot of people don't know, right? Nina is one of the few people that has seen a real side of me, because Nina is, Nina gets down. And as you were speaking about Zen Lounge, I was thinking about Nina and I have been friends for about a decade as well. And I first met her at the Zen Lounge. She wasn't performing though. She was taking money at the door, and she was so mean. We still disagree about this. She was meaner than a wet cat. She would not let me slide. The other girls were
Not a wet cat.
She wasn't trying to get fired. She was very loyal to the
She's
rules.
A Virgo, and she ran a tight
meticulous.
ship.
You know, she runs tight ship. She ain't letting
one penny get past. There was no. I'd be like, so and so said I could get in. She'd be like, well, they ain't tell me that. But nevertheless, I love that. Such a beautiful story. Nina, talk to me about the title behind Vision. Why did you name your EP Vision?
So Vision came from, and it's probably been here, I have a vision board. And I look at that vision board every day, all day for years, still up, still there. And literally when I was going through the process of like, okay, well, your first EP was Present. You know why that's such a stickler for you. What is this project going to be? And I was like, well, you know what? Okay, now it just dropped to me. During that time, I had already started manifesting, thinking that I was going to do it during 2020, because 2020 is perfect vision. And I was like, oh yeah, 2020. And then 2020 actually happened. I was like, I was like, never. And so literally it still resonated with me of like, well, you have to have a vision. I'm looking at a vision board which already stated what I wanted to do and what I want to accomplish. And I was like, well, there it goes, plain as day, plain insight. And so yeah, that's where it literally came from.
That's hilarious.
What's up, Smith? Saint Smith is in the building. Says,
come on, Saint.
We're all three of us are his faves. So of course we're like wonderful.
Love him. We love you too. And it's so funny, but I was gonna squeeze in as 2020, unironically, your vision either got clearer or you had distorted vision. 2020 went one of two ways, depending on who you were.
Back then, yeah, for sure.
Because for me, I had cataracts. I'll just this ain't about me.
Oh my
this ain't about me. So Nina, talk to me about, I mentioned when I was doing your intro that you are alumna of GLAAD's Emmy cohort, which stands for Equity in Media and Entertainment Initiative. Talk to me about what it's been like being on the other side of doing that program.
Well, I was just grateful to have the opportunity. And I literally was thinking about that this morning. I was like, well, I already had that in my mindset that I wanted to bring my friends into the space. Did not know how, but I wanted to make sure that that was going to be a receipt on top of me showing up in the Emmy cohort. And then and me and B, we had a dinner meeting, and I expressed to them, like, gave them the whole gist of what Emmy means, what GLAAD, the connection, how they
Yeah.
represent me. And, because I didn't want to make them just sign on just because it's me.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they understood, that they knew, hey, this is what it's going for. This is how I want to bring you in. You could tell me yes or no. That does not affect our friendship. I just want
Yeah,
to
she's very
be a
real.
part of this opportunity, and literally being a part of Emmy let me know that it was a safe ground for this being and this artist and this icon to be associated through I guess, liaison through me in that aspect, because I want to make sure that outside of me, I still wanted them to be a part of something that I know is a continued part of their elevation and continued part of their journey, as well as mine. And so, what better way to expand that than to bring your people who are talented, who are gifted, who is one of a kind. I don't brag on my friends like that, but at the same time, just to be in the company of such an icon, and they allow you to give your things to them, their roses to them in that space. I'm forever grateful for that. And so now we literally have a manifested project that speaks to our friendship. Because I always say it leads with our friendship, it leads with our camaraderie, it leads with our creativity, it leads with our collaboration and our energy. And that's what people have been telling me thus far in the snippets that they have listened to, of like, oh my God, like, okay,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, yeah, and B, I want you to talk to me about, because like I said, I know that Nina roped you in and you all like
Mm-hmm.
produced this together. But
Mm-hmm.
I also understand, because I'm familiar with you and you've given yourself the gift of reinventing yourself 10
Yes.
times over. You've
Yes.
really explored a spectrum of different artistry and the ways in which you show up in that.
Uh-huh.
Were there any, talk to me about the biggest, I guess, creative differences with working with like mainstream artists versus like gospel artists? And I ask this because Nina pulls from so many different influences, and you really
Mm-hmm.
can't box her into it, because I hear gospel, I hear funk, I hear R&B, I hear soul.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were producing this, was there any specific approach you took? And if not, is there a way you differentiate between the two when you're asked to work with the gospel artist, or when you choose to work with a more like R&B type artist?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking. And you better go ahead and be a journalist. Don't be. You better go ahead. Okay, that would
Excuse
be
me,
the good TV right
award
there. So
winning.
go
Thank
again.
you. Award
When
winning.
you sat back into it, that was all right. I just had to give you that. Okay. I would say the gospel artists that come to me are already looking for something creatively edgy, but also highly anointed. Like, it's not just like dope sounds, dope beats, dope arrangements, dope concepts. If I'm not feeling that anointing or the goosebumps or that energy that lets me know, hey, they mean what they're saying, or they meant that chord, they meant that drum. So with mainstream, there's a lot of it's not so much the artist, it's sometimes it's the camp that's surrounding the artist that messes up the energy. I like to work with artists directly. I
Yeah.
don't like having them in a separate booth. Usually when I'm working with an artist, they are right next to me. I want them to know I'm right there with you. I want you to do well. It's something I learned, in acting, that you get so nervous, you land a part and you're on the set, and for some reason you think, oh, they're just waiting for me to mess up. They're just waiting for me to, I don't want to screw this up. It's a lot of money and everybody left their families, and the companies expect me to do stuff. And so you build this thing up in your mind. And someone told me, one of my first sets, they're like, listen, everybody here wants you to win. Everybody on this set wants you to do a good job, because they don't get future jobs if you don't do a good job. So they're here supporting you. And so that's what I wanted Nina to know. I knew she liked beats. I saw this video of her. She was dancing. I think it's called Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Shake It. And
That's on
when I first
soundtrack.
saw that video, and just how percussive she was. I was like, oh, well, then, you know, just based off of some of the same artists we like and some of the same songs produced by the same producers that we like Rich Harrison and Dark Child and Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Teddy Riley, Brian Morgan, you know, I said, okay, I had a beat for her that I made specifically for her. And it's the song called Dance. It's on the EP now, but I had that beat. I was just riding around these LA streets, just listening to the beat going off. And we hadn't even written anything to it yet. So I was like, if it ain't moving me, I don't think it's going to move her.
Yeah.
So I had to, as a producer, because people think just because I sing, that means you necessarily know how to produce. That's not always the case. Sometimes singers make that person sound so much like them that you can't see the artistic distinction between my involvement versus me looking like I just overtook the whole thing. So it was important to leave space. You listen to the song Dance, there's a lot of space in that song. The beats are hard, but I was like, let me leave room for her to paint and bring what parts that her thing. And then once I heard where she was going with it, then I could come back and kind of circle around that. Sorry to be so verbose. I just want to be able to...
I love verbose. Are you kidding me? I love that. And I love, you know, Nina is going to catch a beat. She is a New Orleans native. So she's going to catch a beat now.
Yeah.
Now, this EP has 3 songs: Dance, Nina, Miracle, and Smile. Talk to me about, what question do I want to ask? So with those 3 songs, is there a specific narrative arc? Did you all choose to, how did you go about choosing the track listing? Does Dance Nina being track number 1, does that mean something? Or did you just, you know, shake the dice and wherever the chips fell, they fell?
I think the creative process was that we gathered together and we created. For me, I also knew that, okay, well, like B said, when he sent me that first track, I knew that was number 1. That's how you start off.
I was hoping it would be number 1.
Oh,
but
that's how
you
you
never
start.
can tell. But these
We were literally, and that's the other thing too. We were literally at a party of a friend of ours, and he said, "Nina, I finished it. I'm gonna send it to you." I said, "B, don't send it to me now, cause I'm at this party. Like, I'm not gonna be able to give it to you know the just dessert, you know." And so he was like, "No, I'm sending it to you, and you listen to it." Literally, when I got in my car. Because you just never know, like you said, and that's the great thing about his expertise and his creativity is that he shapes it around the artist. And when I tell you from that first listen sonically, I was like, oh my God. And I got so invigorated that when I got home, by the time I finished listening to it, I had already got the melody of the it was something robotic about that. I was like, no, I need some. Okay, well, what is that making me do? It's making me dance. Oh, well, do you want everybody else to dance? Yeah. So I was like, that's how it started to play out. And literally, when we had the session, our first session, I was like, B, I got something. You don't have to confirm it. It's just what I got. And literally, he looked at me and I was doing my thing. Because that's also a thing. When you're working with a person who has helped you see your gift in aspects, you don't know. We have never worked together in that aspect, so you don't know what
it was still a blind date. It was still
you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
But the great thing about owning who you are, owning who I am as an artist, I'm like, baby, no, if this, like he said, if this feel good to me, I know when I present it to everybody else, it's gonna feel good to them. And literally, we were starting to move and doing all that. I was like, yeah, we got us. Here we go. So literally, it's just been a wonderful experience to create each song each day during that process. And then literally that's how it flowed.
Every day was different too. You know what I'm saying? If I want to just jump on that, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just reminiscing on the sessions, and we actually recorded this at Elijah Blake's studio. And so we had a really dope view of just, what we moved out to LA for is encapsulated in the roof of where his patio is. And so even when we were announcing that it was coming forth, a while ago, we dropped the teaser about this a while ago. The atmosphere that you see and the wind blowing and the sunshine and the Hollywood and just the whole vibes, that was real. that joy that you see in those trailers, that's what was happening inside of the studio. And so being surrounded by those plaques and possibilities, like, because he's written for so many different amazing artists, Rihanna, Usher, everybody, I mean, just you name it. And just being around that energy, plus it was a comfortable space. There was no divide between us. It wasn't like when you go to a normal studio, you feel like you on the clock because you're like, well, let me hurry up and come up with something, because you're like, you know what I mean? The chopping block, exactly. And in the situation we were in, we were at home. We were really just vibing each other. And that's why it just came off like that. Each day had a different vibe. Each day we showed up, it had a different, like, she came in on something, I came in on something, and that formulated what we did that day. And then the next day would come in and it was the same process. I love that.
I love that. So you all had a view of the city when you were doing your work.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah, that puts the battery in anybody's back.
It did.
Yes.
On top of the camaraderie, on top of the creativity, on top of just being open and authentic. And I also leave with and comfortable, but that was the tenure of the friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
It was already, I was like, listen, baby, you could tell me yes or please believe you could tell me yes or no, Nina, I don't want to. And also, that was the thing that I loved because it challenged me. I believe myself to be a professional singer, especially a professional studio singer. So I want to make sure that I'm like a machine. And when I tell you this young man had worked me, he was like, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And I was like, okay.
And she was super fast. She was so fast. I just got to jump in and say, she's one of the fastest in the West. Tisha Campbell, Shanice Wilson, and this young lady are the fastest. I'm talking about quick, fast. You know, don't turn the microphone for a second, you know, because you just layer, stack. And not just the note stacking, but the diction and the attention to detail, the tiny personality traits and nuances that you just said. You have to stack those exactly the same way, but not sound robotic. Keep the same emotion, but also be technical about that. So I was just really impressed with, I know she listens to the greats. That's the only thing I can think of, that she studied great people and she just brought what she learned all these years to this moment, because she knew I was going to bring my best, and I could tell that she had done her homework and wanted to do her best. So that makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time.
No greater feeling in the world than to feel like you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know, before we get out of here though, because Nina, I've been begging to get some BGVs on a Neverending Nina track. She won't let me though, but I've been begging for like 2 years now.
Please, B, do not believe this lady. She is a wonderful award-winning journalist, but that lady can gaslight you in a minute.
I could do a little ooh and I could do a doo-wop pop. I can. But Nina, talk to me about, like, you channeled Donna Summer. What was it? 4 Seasons of Love for for the cover of this EP. What was the inspiration behind that? What can we expect? Does that tie in anywhere with the musicality of the EP? Talk to me about that.
What I've learned, like B said, I study the greats. I love storytelling. It doesn't always have to be in vocal storytelling. It can be in art, in presentation. It can be little nuggets that you can find in different spaces.
Yeah.
And so literally, I love honoring the icons. If I have an opportunity to do so in my own way, I'm going to do it. Donna Summer, to me, is one of those icons that supreme vocalist, supreme artist. And I was like, you know what, Nina, who do you want to honor with this next go round? And I was like, because on the first EP, I saluted Jill Scott, India Arie, and Erykah Badu with my inspiration interlude. And so particularly with this one, I was like, okay, well, let's go with the cover. And so that cover and the nuance of this Vision EP is otherworldly. It's in the spaces and in the different atmospheres and creating your own soundscapes. And so literally I was like, yeah, I want this cover, but I want to do it in my own way. And so literally with the help of my friend John Jason, photographer, up-and-coming photographer, does a lot of work with Taraji P. Henson, different people and stuff like that. And then my editor, we created the visual component of it. And literally, that's how Vision cover came about. And it ties into it because I believe the sound uniquely, each track sounds different, but together collectively, they sound otherworldly. It puts you in a space to where, oh my God, it's futuristic, it's fun, it's different, it's still on Nina. It's the elevation of what I have done thus far. And that's the imagery that I want to put out there. And it looks good. Right?
No, it
Yes,
looks,
it does.
it's fab. It's fab. It's
Okay.
fab.
I wanted to say that I love Afrofuturism too. You know, I love a good Arcandroid, Janelle Monáe, some Cindy Mayweather. I like how Black people
Dirty
see the
computer.
future. You know, very Missy, and like you said earlier, Timbaland, like how Black people envision the future. The Jacksons usually are
Yeah.
some futuristic
Yeah.
vibes. So I've always been a fan of what things would sound like in the future and making them come back to now. So in my mind, I'm always in 2040. We're
Yeah.
in 2025, but my mind is, you know, and so she's on that same wave. And I was hoping that she would be, because the song Dance is so sparse at the beginning. It's just one little ding. And I was like, she's like, well, what is that? Taco Bell? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I was like, I hope she waits for that beat to drop, and she liked it. Because you submit things to artists, but there's no guarantee that they're gonna like it. You know, I'm here to serve the client. So that's not always, you can go in hoping things work out, but I also have to be open to, if she wants to make a change, if Janet wants to make a change, if Tisha wants to make a change, part of my job as a producer is to find out how to custom make this dress for them.
Yeah.
And literally, we were in the studio creating Dance Nina, and I told him my favorite song from Janet is Miss You Much, and particularly the bridge.
Yes.
And literally, Dance Nina didn't have a bridge at first. So the bridge on Dance Nina, when I tell you, when you can see a creative create on the spot, it is something so magical. And then they fit it right into exactly what you wanted. What you wanted. It was,
right. I
I'm
had
like
to
a
play
kid
that
in a
there,
candy
right?
store.
We built that
You,
in real
we, I
time.
told you I wanted that bridge, and you was like, okay, give me five. And he just started pressing me, and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, what the hell? I mean, what is happening before my eye? And literally, it just flowed right into it. And I was like, oh, because I want to continue to honor the icons. And literally, people have been talking about, oh, we don't have bridges anymore. No, this EP has bridges.
Because we
Oh
don't.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what? I have to say, like, I got to recently on the very, very last Janet tour, come back in and do Miss You Much, right? And start with the MISS, and so to have that bridge, because the bridge of Miss You Much is my favorite too. These types of unspoken parallels between us is what makes this project so exciting. It's seamless because it's like we two little black dolphins just not even saying words. We just know, like, the same thing she likes is the things that I was raised on, you know. So it just felt good to, you know, she's like, I want to be, okay, cool, say less. And just how she quickly assimilates to sudden situations says a lot about, and then her choreo, like, people don't understand she's a performer too. So I'm looking forward to shooting this video and just seeing what kind of choreo she comes up with for dance. I'm really excited about just shooting that video.
Oh, it sounds like y'all had all the synergy popping. I want to shout out one of the viewers. They said that their late friend produced the dance mixes for Donna Summer. The comment is gone now, but someone commented.
Wow.
Yeah, for like, and they said sending love from Germany. So I guess it was like over there that they were doing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Well, Vision is available everywhere you get good music on
October 24th.
Friday. October 24th.
Is that yeah, one more day, right?
2 days.
Midnight, 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days.
Well, yeah, I see what you mean.
Midnight, wherever you're at on that day.
I see what you did there. It is kind of one day away, I guess, you know. But I cannot wait. I mean, I'm a fan of Nina's music. I was in one of Nina's music videos.
Hey.
I cannot wait to hear, because it sounds like you're making you're kind of introducing us to a different sound for you. That's what this sounds like. Like, I'm excited to hear. I've always loved your music, but I'm excited to hear the direction that you go in for this EP, and I'm really excited about this Dance Nina track with the top.
Me too. That's my favorite.
Yeah, and the bridge. I'm gonna be listening for the built out.
Please listen for the bridge.
Wait, so is Dance Nina, is that the 10-minute song?
No. So none of them are 10 minutes.
Okay.
Everything is roughly maybe three, close to
Okay.
three.
Yeah, it's
But
radio friendly. All the
yes,
songs, it's lengthwise.
yes. I
Perfect.
want it short and sweet and
Yeah.
precise and potent. That's what I kept saying when we were in the
Oh.
studio. Like, there,
Oh.
boom, in your face. You can't deny it. Even if
Right.
you don't
Yeah.
know me, you gonna know this music bangs. And
Yeah.
so, like B said, I didn't want to waste me time. So let's
Yeah.
get
Or the listeners' time because their attention spans are so short right
Oh
now
my
that
gosh.
you got to
Because
get
of
to like
TikTok.
hit it and quit it, which is cool. We can adapt, but you
TikTok.
won't feel like it's short. You're going to feel like
no.
it's a full length song because we incorporate so many, it's sticky. Like when I
The
say
replay
sticky, it's like
value.
each section of each song is its own hook. And that's the way I build out
Wow.
songs. When I work with someone, I'm trying to make each section, it could be a song of its own.
Yeah.
And I feel like we nailed it. I'm very excited. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. Like I've been like, damn it, will this thing hurry up and drop?
Look, it's only a day away, as you mentioned.
All the other
So
way.
Yeah.
I want to thank B Slade and Neverending Nina for joining Glad Hangouts today. And thank you all for watching. Be sure to stream, download, purchase all the good stuff, Neverending Nina's music. And also, B Slade is an artist in his own
Yes.
right. Go check out some of his music too.
Hey,
Right?
That's
thank you
nice.
very
Right?
much. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Well, and you all know me. I'm Shar Jocelyn. And until next time, have a good day. Have a good midweek. And we'll be listening. Bye, you all.
Bye,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers. Cheers. I
Bye.
wish I had something. Bye.